Neon Knight Riders.
Hello YouTube, it's Borzud and I'm back with a video for the Bots at Home event, and today I'm going to be taking a look at some very special figures. Now, in Europe, in the early 90s, the G1.5 era, as it is affectionately called, there was a lot of Transformers that came out using a rather radical neon colour scheme that was fitting for the time. We had the Turbo Masters that used that lovely neon pink for not only their windshields but also light piping. However, there is another team that I want to speak about, and of course you've seen the thumbnail so you already know what that team is, but I feel that they used this magenta see-through plastic and also incorporated weapon storage in a very clever way that we really haven't seen used very often in future Transformers lines, and that is of course the Axelerators. Starting off with the leader of the Axelerators is of course Rapido, and you can just tell that this guy is the leader of the team because of that blaster that he yields. It's a twin blaster, whereas the other guys just have a measly paltry single blaster. So of course the leader has to have the most firepower because that's just how it's done. His design as well in robot mode is very stylistic, and that does get reflected more in the alt mode. I love this guy's colour scheme in robot mode. That red and turquoise green that comes off a bit blue on camera just works really well and gives him a nice cool look. And of course he does have a lot of light piping that you can see shine through here in robot mode. And when it comes to his alt mode, you can definitely tell he's leader. Why? Because he has the coolest looking alt mode. This design is just based off a concept car from Peugeot, the Peugeot Quasar, I believe. And it just makes him stand out from the rest of the team in every way possible. Coupled with that fantastic magenta clear see-through plastic for the windshield, just really does make him stand out so well. And here is Scram. Now this guy seems to be the hardest to get on the aftermarket for some reason. I don't know why, maybe he was done in low production numbers. But he definitely has his own cool flavour, rocking that dark blue with the neon pink stripes on his body. I think that's really awesome. And he uses a bright orange just to stand out the rest of that colour from the pack. And his light piping really does shine through in robot mode and gives him a very ominous look. For an Autobot he does look quite evil, which is very interesting. His engine block becomes a rather cool looking gun, and overall he just does look really menacing. And his Corvette mode is just amazing. Those pink Go Faster stripes really come into their own in this alt mode, and it just makes it stand out, using not only the pink for the Go Faster stripes but also that pink magenta in his windshield with the lovely G2 Autobot logo in full blazing glory. Hot Rider, now this guy I really do like. He's my second favourite because he is so unique. He's the only team member that is not a racing car basically. He's a pickup truck, and this just works really well. It makes the team a bit more diverse, gives you a bit more variety rather than it just being standard race cars. And his colour scheme is brilliant as well. That turquoise green with the pink decals plastered all over. I really do love this. I think it just works dead well. Of course, that magenta see-through plastic comes in its own when it comes to his light piping. Fantastic figure to look at. And the pickup truck looks amazing, just with the gun becoming the engine block front and centre. Really does give it an added cool flavour, a very retro 60s vibe I would say in terms of pickup trucks. It looks really well, and then again those decals definitely do come into their own on the alt mode. Lastly we have Windsbreaker, or Zap to give him another name. He is in a lovely bright orange colour scheme with dark blue. Again, it shouldn't work, but it just does. The colours they have picked for these figures just are strange and bizarre, but work really well. There's not much variety though in terms of his colours. He's pretty much a two-tone person with orange and blue all over. Of course he does have that fantastic magenta plastic for the light piping. His alt mode is a Camaro, very much in the vein of Knight Rider, just obviously a newer model, where his engine block really does stick out, and it's very plain looking. Even though it uses a bright orange and dark blue, it's a very plain looking Camaro, and the stickers on mine, as you can see, are a bit iffy as well, but it's really cool. But overall, he is pretty much my least favourite on the team. When it comes to articulation for any of the accelerators, it's pretty much just the standard affair. The arm can go up and down, and the leg has a single bend. That's it when it comes to articulation on these guys. It is very standard, and they pretty much follow the same pattern. Take off the gun, which will become the engine block on your accelerator. Lift up the hood, you can flip it to the back if you wish. Push the head down, and we just pop the arms up. And the legs just bend and flip over. Nice and straightforward. And then the engine block just pushes up there and just really does just sit in with pure friction. Obviously, when you've got big Scottish sausage fingers like me, it can be a bit difficult to get that engine block in, but there we go. And like I say, they all follow that same standard. There is one running change with the accelerators, or rather a re-release for the accelerators, I guess, in the US, and I think later in Europe as well. They changed the lovely magenta plastic into this dull grey smoky type plastic. I only have Hot Rider here for comparison, but it gives you an idea when you look at not only the robot mode but also the alt mode, and it's really telling here in the alt mode. I definitely think the Euro G1.5 release with that fantastic magenta really does win when it comes to the releases of the accelerators. When it comes to TFN, on the Friday night's always a good hoot, but the big experience for me is hitting that dealer room. And I think that's fair to say for a lot of people, that's one of the biggest experiences they have at TFN. And once I have gotten the must-haves, you know, the brand new releases, be it official or third party, I go and search for something to hit that nostalgia button, just add another layer onto the TFN experience. And that is, of course, where these guys come in. I had most of these when I was a kid, and it's just nice to have the complete set, specifically the complete Euro set of these, because I'm all for the magenta light piping on that late Euro G1.5 Transformer kick. Because as much as I'd love to say I was there when Transformers started, I definitely started picking up in the gold box release, the Power Master Prime era, and then the Euro G1.5 era. And that's where my childhood really does lie with Transformers, and the accelerators epitomise that part of my childhood. Thank you for watching this video as part of the Bots at Home event. I certainly hope to see you all at TFN 2022, and please continue watching the other videos from the rest of the guys. They'll definitely be cracking, and there'll be something for everyone for the Bots at Home experience.